The Lakers are trading THT and possibly Stanley Johnson for Patrick Beverley. And if you didn't have enough reasons to doubt Lakers management, well, here's another one. This is a terrible trade. Now I see where they're coming from. Patrick Beverley is a better fit than THT. He's a better shooter. He's perceived to be a better defender. I'm not sure how accurate that actually is, but he does get under the opponent's skin. I mean, we all hated him when he played against us, but he's someone that you would love to have on your team. He brings passion and toughness, and THT may turn out to be the better player in the future. But as of right now, Patrick Beverley is the better player, and the Lakers need someone that can help them win now. Plus, he's on an expiring contract, whereas THT has a couple years left on his deal with a player option. And this deal would also free up a roster spot. Wow, did I just talk myself into liking this trade? No, this trade is still a major L for the Lakers, because they haven't learned from their mistakes. Their biggest issues last season were being too old and being too small. In general, you don't want to trade a 21-year-old for a 34-year-old, but especially if you're the Lakers. But not only are they trading for a 34-year-old, he's a 34-year-old guard. The Lakers need as many wings as they can get. Now they're losing Stanley Johnson as well. I mean, if the Lakers traded for a guy like Bojan Bogdanovic, that would be great. They need more wings and more shooting. But they trade for another guard? They don't need another guard. They have enough as it is. They got Westbrook, Kendrick Nunn, Austin Reeves, Lonnie Walker IV. Now you're adding Patrick Beverley? That's a very crowded backcourt. And I think his defense is overrated. Like Westbrook said, Pat Bev trick y'all. You gotta give him credit for how hard he tries and how he frustrates his opponent. But at the end of the day, he's only 6'1" and can pretty much only guard point guards. Maybe smaller twos. What the Lakers need are more versatile defenders. Guys that can ideally guard 1 through 4, maybe even 5. And that would be good for switchy lineups. And probably the worst thing about this deal is the Lakers have very few tradable assets to improve their roster. You got your 2 tradable first rounders, future second rounders, maybe Kendrick Nunn, and THT. Now you're wasting one of those assets on what? Patrick Beverley? Honestly, look at this team now. Has it gotten any better? I honestly think they got worse. The only good thing about this trade is that it likely means Russell Westbrook is gone. He has to be. There's no way you can have Patrick Beverley and Russell Westbrook on the same team, sharing the same locker room. Unless your goal is to have the most toxic environment ever. Maybe that's the Lakers' strategy. Maybe they want to make Westbrook uncomfortable to the point that he begs to leave. Maybe even agrees to a buyout. But I doubt that's gonna happen. Now, I understand that this is probably only the first of multiple moves that the Lakers will make to try and improve the team. And this trade will probably make more sense after those moves are completed and the Lakers finish building the roster. But you can't count your chickens before they hatch. And until those moves actually happen, we just have to look at this trade at face value. And seeing this trade as is, I think this is a terrible move for the Lakers.